So tonight is our feature night, and as you all know, tonight is a date with Kelsy. Who is Kelsy, you're wondering? Who am I going on a date with right now? Kelsy is an earth-based poet. As a celestial being, she explores her own humanity through the expression of words considered carefully. Like the stars, her creativity forms a constellation of interests, from poetry, modeling, and music. Elements such as the woods, rivers, and heartache bring the most out of her. Her poetry reflects lived experiences, the grandest of emotions, and herself. She's a community participant, acting as co-host of Rhythm and Muse. Rhythm and Muse. As well as a member of North Florida Poetry Hub and a member of a bi-weekly critique group. Her work and process can be found on her website, YouTube, and Instagram under the name Sirens Craft Yard. Everybody, are you ready? Yeah. Give it up for Kelsy.
So good to see you guys. Thank you for meeting me here. You look great, by the way. So what, this is like our third date? I think so. It's a pretty good sign, so I think we're vibing. Well, I guess since it's like our third date, it's probably time we start to get to know each other a little better. You might know this about me already from, our other dates, but travel is a big part of who I am. And I've lived other countries, I've lived in many other states in the US. I grew up around other cultures. I really love being around other cultures. I've moved a lot, and I plan to continue moving, just so you know. So here's a little poem more about me. I'm traveling. Wound in all of me. Long open roads and aeroplanes, wound into the fibers of my DNA. Where I go, no one recognizes me, though I have one of those faces. Who you think I am, I just might be. Freedom is every full tank of gas. 398 miles start to feel like there's no turning back. Distance is no matter when the tire lines my under eyes. I'll go and I'll go again to escape boring beige, business parks, and building blocks. Goodbyes numb my subconscious places and disperse me unevenly, scattering me in shards of blue. Starting anew, disassociation nudges me through. My soul flinches in fear when I hear I grew up around here, and they imply sticky beer and fishing gear. I pursue perfect tides that belong in wooden double glass pane picture frames. Secret spots that smell of fresh air and old moisture, where I'm tingled by the touch of soft pine and tune into the whispers of mature moss. Catch me daydreaming, reliving the ecstasy of wandering the threads of closed stairways, carved in between medieval tartan walls like thick embroidery. Find me on a beach of spring-loaded pebbles, where I can lay and soften my spine and mingle among strangers yammering in inverted tongues. I was born with distance in my veins, long open roads and arrow plains. Poem. Family, you ask? Family. Well, I am the oldest of three. We actually all have different fathers, which makes for a really interesting dynamic. Because of that dynamic, I'm not like close with my family, but we actually don't have any like problems with each other either. We just don't like depend on each other like a lot of other family structures do. Weekday sister. When your mom has many babies with multiple men, even a faded outline of a family can feel like your own clan. 2-day weekends were sometimes 3. Even holidays, the space was empty and gray. Sunday night showers and Tuesday bedtime tuck-ins twisted my half-siblings into charges under my command. I was the liable sister, the cleaning fairy sister, the mom sister, the weekday sister. Dawn drop-off walks to elementary school, apple allergies, and every chore of care. But fun was granted to the weekend families. When it was time for me to fly far away, I don't remember anyone asking me to stay. I suppose they didn't understand that our goodbyes were not the same. Years later, the same 20 birthday dollars exchanged between bank accounts, between our SMS inboxes, generic well wishes, text bounce. I am the visit sister, the remote sister, the updated sister, the annual sister. Poem. My mom had me really young, at the age of 17. So we actually grew up together in a way. And my dad, he was there for a little while, but eventually that teetered off. Brothers in arms. I visit my mausoleum at every funeral of an inadequate man, each a reflection of those who haunt my life. There, front and center, he is, the prototype, peeking his head out of the crypt, body already decomposed, bones brittle and undusted. Nearly unrecognizable, only the figure of a father dead to me. His inscription reads, born in 1972, military, remarried, a father to others. With no escape, he waits like a gargoyle stoned in, while this Gorgon brings his brothers in arms. Poem. I basically pour all of my love into animals. I am 100% a cat person. Now, don't get me wrong, I adore dogs. I enjoy their company, but cats are something that I feel that I completely embody. I adopted my cat, Dee Dee, 5 years ago in December. She was actually already an adult, and 3 weeks into our life together, I knew that I would love nothing more than her. Invitation. She waits at the bedroom door, back to me, head turned over her shoulder. Round, soft eyes pulling me in. Leaping to the bed, she purrs, begging for me to join her with her body twisted open. I slide my hand through her legs. I linger on her down feather belly. Further, I caress her neck and finally cradle her head in my palm. Unspoken invitation woos me to curl her to my chest. She mews a small protest for dramatic effect, and we melt into our usual position. I kiss the back of her ears. She squeezes her body around my arm. I whisper, she's all the goodness the world can create. The burdens of the day liberated. With a deep sigh. Nose and toes twitching and tails thumping, the same beat of our hearts as we float to sleep in each other's arms. Poem. My very first published poem was about Dee Dee. That was this year in Poetry Month, which is in April, National Poetry Month. It was printed out on a sandwich board that hung out outside of Chamberlain's downtown for the entire month. And I find that it's so fitting that it's my love for her which got me started publicly. This is called Dee Dee. She's ash, forged from the embers of my heart, smoky angel, encircled by a pearly halo. My love outside, matchstick whiskers strike, I glow. Poem. I put a lot of energy into her well-being. Most of my decisions are based around her, but I know that she won't be around forever. And when I think about it, it's like losing her over and over again, even though I haven't even lost her yet, but somehow I'm mentally preparing myself to experience that moment. I hope you die in no more ways than one, on a bed of crimson petals. I hope you die with our heads and with our hands and arms intertwined to take my touch to the other side. I hope you die with my voice in your mind, spelling out a sweet goodbye. I hope you die purring with joy of the shared love between us. I hope you die when you're ready, like the way you deserve. Poem. Well, I guess it's a date. I guess it's not a date without talking about our exes. Long story short, I was married to a Turkish man that I met in 2009. That was the summer between high school and college for me. We courted for many years, we visited each other, and I actually moved to Istanbul for a year. That was in 2013. Time zone love affair. You love me longer as I greet the moon and you the sun. Living the same moment in opposite time zones. Distance digs a deeper well, we seek sensation and scent, while deja vu echoes like a bell. Ocean currents connect like sidewalks, each crossing a renewed start. I adore you on a screen too small, letters, emails, and video calls. Our life spent calculating to and from, days, hours, minutes lost and found. We greet departure gates with heartache, melancholic flights, and tears served with a light meal. Poem. When we broke up back in 2014, I moved back to the States. Eventually, many, many years later, we got back together and decided to marry. Though the marriage didn't last that long, admittedly, our story is long, and it was potent. Beginning of the end. God, how I could have hit you with my hot egg pan and watched the golden yolk slide down your face. I could have buried you with my breakfast in a grave. You said I gave you my grievance at the wrong time of day, that your mind spirals at night. Couldn't you start with sorry or I hear you? That morning, the Reaper appeared and lingered at the doorway of our marriage. I had to climb a mountain and visit the sea just to shake that mood off of me. Now we are far in between. I left my white flag with your blaring red lights, which are dimming now in my rearview mirror. Thank you not for the best excuse I never heard. Nothing left now but a little diamond turd. Poem. Now, what we had really was a movie over that 10, 12, 13 year span of time that we were involved with each other. Though we're not together now, I can truly appreciate the insanity of our story. And I do hold on to a bit of disappointment, despite that all we did, all that we went through, that it wasn't forever. You like to think that that love story is the thing that like sticks around, but it didn't. What you'll never hear me say. I'm weary from keeping my long form composure. My tenderness and kindness that you benefited from became my own cell of solitude. I tucked my bleeding heart into the cooler of my emotions. Level-headedness was my blindness to the simmering rampage that I never shot at you. Then words, angry and disappointed words, burst up like lava from a dormant volcano. I asked them for complacency. The distance between us now is farther than before we met. And now, you are safe from the words that you'll never hear. I offer a firm but polite, fuck you. I like what I revealed with my tongue soaked in red wine when we sat at the bar with the personality of a cigar box. Lucky for you, I left you sitting there, taking with me a basket of fireballs that I've still yet to put out. I am now at the edge of that volcanic ledge, and I'm letting them go off to bends. Your precious YouTube videos couldn't educate you on how to love me. You're not half the man you pretend to be. Your incompetence made you miss the best rest of your life. While I'm scratching my surface, you've reached the limit of yours. Loving you was like looking upwind in a rainstorm. When your first drop touched me, I couldn't see how dense you really were. That's not really meant for you. You said that I made you feel like you weren't enough. Well, you weren't. Why did I have to look both ways with you? Somehow I was always wrong for not knowing which direction you were coming from. You are a self-serving son of a really nice mother who took good care of you. It shows you've never had to beg for love where it's supposed to be given. You wondered about your failures. You deserved them. Charm can only go so far. Ironically, I've written all these words about how much you no longer mean to me. And I've noticed that the hurt has moved from tightly written poetry to scraps formed loosely. I wish I had written poetry when we were in love, so I could look back at us sweetly and dissolve my distaste like sugar. I have now traveled far enough through you to find where your west ends and your east begins. Your name and my mouth feels foreign once again. Poem. Dating, don't even get me started. I know we're on a date, but most haven't made it this far. Dating on a digital ground, a sonnet. Find love the digital way, swipe a page. Feel frustrated, all the profiles suck. 3-second decisions lead me to rage. Feed the algorithm $100. Notifications raid my inner space. No hellos, just sexual suggestions. I request the next update to have mace. Off boy, learn to phrase respectful questions. Despite that, there are ample ghouls for a graveyard. We're burnt up by dopamine fuel, dead tired. I walk this online world a little scarred. Constant pixels fry how I'm hardwired. To the street and the poetry sheets I search. Lesson learned, online is no place to perch. Poem. Well, to cope with the loss of one of my deepest relationships, I developed an obsession with the musician Hosier, as many of you know. It's his art that brought me to the world of music and poetry. With him being a decent-looking man, I developed an unrequited love for a stranger, of course. Eventually, I realized that I didn't know how to love somebody's work without loving them. And eventually, thankfully, I have leveled off and figured out the difference between the two emotionally. But I do still let that love be a catalyst for my creativity. And I can't talk about my journey without crediting him as well. A, as in the letter. When I was 26 in Thessaloniki, my friend took me to a fortune teller at Cafe Kismet. A mystic in the back read my coffee ground's fate and said that my soulmate's name begins with an A. We joked and laughed. My ex has a name named. I said there'd be no way. Ironically, a few years later, we got married. Unironically, a few years later, we got divorced. During that divide, I met Andrew, not face-to-face, but on a stage name basis. Myself invisible in his abundance of fans. I couldn't help but think back to the coffee grounds hack, asking myself if A is for auburn hair, if A is for angel voice and Jesus appearance, if A is for Andrew. Nowadays, I can only soak my soul in his sounds, like dancing in a fog. And I can't help but think back to the psychic hack, asking if A is for alone. Poem. Now, somehow by showing up for myself and showing up in a community, here I am on a date with all of you. And I hope that we can keep seeing each other. Going public. I need the audacity to say what I want to say. To get up on this stage and sing my soul away. There are too many bricks in my wall. I'm getting heavy and I'm ready to fall. It's time to break the seal, pour myself out all over the place. See me, feel me, flush my force into this space. Sparks high, my nerves high. No, sorry, rewind. Sparks fly, my nerves high. I take it all on you, all out on you. Poem. At this time, I'd like to invite Neo to the stage.